Big up everyone in the house. We are back with another episode of Big Six Bants. I'm joined by Kiz, I'm joined by G, and I'm joined by Rams. Make sure the first thing you guys do is to smash the like button for the transfer talk that's about to take place. Make sure you go and subscribe to G, obviously on his way to 500 subscribers. So guys, make sure you get those subscribers up and make that happen. Obviously, make sure you go subscribe to the Ram stand when I rush him and he decides to actually start making more content. So make sure you guys go and subscribe to Ram as well. Obviously, big up K. That's part of the group. That's part of the gang. You know what I'm saying? Man, how are we feeling today?
Yeah, man. Good, man. All good. Especially with that Kovacic news. That means Gundogan's on his way out. So you never know, man. You never know who might come in for him.
It's very interesting. Very interesting. I think that's literally the news that's kind of taken people by surprise. I was looking at Kovacic and going, low price for Kova, accomplished centre mid. I mean, if he stays fit, one of the best centre mids in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Chelsea have been horrible this season, so that undermines how good he actually is. People probably look at him and think he's meaty, but I very much disagree. I'm not gonna lie. But we have other news to talk about first. I think let's start with Kova. Now, I think the City transfer, obviously reported by Fabrizio Romano, that is very significant for a lot of teams. Arsenal have been linked to Gundogan. If City are looking at Kova, that to me is a quick fix for Gundogan.
Yeah,
I think we all agree on that. It's a quick fix, or maybe it's at least concrete interest in case. And I think there is some hesitancy as to whether Gundo actually wants to go another year. I think he's hesitant of whether he wants to stay the extra year. So therefore, whether he goes to Barcelona, he goes to Arsenal, wherever he decides to go, City have got their backs covered. There was interest in Kimmich. And now Kova, who I think is also a very good midfield option, that's another option as well. And I think that also ties over to Liverpool, whereas they had also a little bit of interest in McAllister. So as you guys can see, and I'm going to share my screen in a little bit once we get into the McAllister stuff and the Liverpool stuff, it's been stated, the hundreds and hundreds of tweets from Fabrizio saying that, the deal is nearly done. Personal terms are 99% done. Yesterday it was 98% done. The day before that it was 90% done. The day before that it was 85% done. And these are just personal terms. That's not the deal. This is personal terms. I've never seen a deal that's taken so long just to agree personal terms. Do you know what that sounds like to me? Uncertainty. Player uncertainty. Agency uncertainty. That could be done over a Zoom call. It can be done over Zoom. Honestly, you've got to fly from Brighton to City. No one's got to be meeting up in person. You do that over Zoom. You do that over Teams.
True, still.
Whatever you man want to use, whatever you man use, and that can get done. That can get done. So why, for the life of me, is it taking so long for personal terms just to be agreed? Do you want to know why? In my opinion, he's holding out in case a better offer comes in, or if something changes, or for higher wages. Because we're hearing a reported 150k a week, which isn't the worst. I think that's fine to come in and start. That's what I'm hearing. Jose Enrique obviously reported that. I can't remember the news outlet. I'll probably have a look in a minute. But in real honesty, it sounds to me like, you see that interest in City? If Gundo was to leave and Kova, well, we hadn't heard the Kova news since before today. So if the Kova news hadn't come out and Gundo just say, you know what, guys, I've had my time. I've won my trophies. Adios. McAllister's probably thinking, whoa, the light blue side over there, they winning shit. They winning stuff. And they're probably going to pay him way more than 150. Easily. No, he's probably going to start off at 170, 180. Probably start him off at. Premier League proven concrete.
It is 50-50 though, in terms of like whether it is player wages or whether he was holding up for City. I can't really quite work out which one it is. Like, it could be either one. It could be either one. That's the thing.
But then the only thing that's mad then, even for Liverpool, because as Mont said, I feel like, listen, this isn't like signing Kylian Mbappe where you know that contract's going to take time to sign because you've got so many things to worry about. This is McAllister. I don't know what his agent, I think it's his dad or his dad is his representative. I don't know what that's saying in terms of We heard about Bellingham and what his dad wanted and all the kind of extra stuff. Is this the same kind of thing with him? But as Kiz is saying, like, it could be anything in terms of I'm leaning more towards he is looking for a better offer, but I would not be surprised if Brighton just say, yeah, boom, we'll just give you more money or anything like that, because I just don't see like why it's taking so long to kind of get the personal terms agreed. And then the sheer fact that I think Fabrizio was even saying today, yeah, that's going to be the personal terms. That's not going to get agreed until next week. So I'm like, oh, so hold on. So we're still waiting until next week before we can even get all of that sorted. And then remember, we still need to chat to Brighton. If we're not giving the piece to Brighton or Brighton don't like the the payment structure, then what are we doing here? All of that was just a waste of time. And that's where I feel like McAllister's also looked at it, and I don't feel that Liverpool is his first choice, but I feel like maybe that is the only option on the table right now. We're trying to rush it, but he's sitting there thinking, just take time. Let me just see what's going on, kind of thing. I don't know what you guys think, but that's how I'm looking at it at the moment.
I agree as well. Like, I think if you heard from what he said prior to the season ending, he wants Champions League football. He wants another project. Look, you can't get any better replacing one of Manchester City's greatest ever players in Ilkay Gundogan and filling in those shoes. And everyone keeps on saying he's more or less a like-for-like replacement. And I know for a fact Pep Guardiola is looking at it and saying, yeah, this guy could be the guy that replaces Gundogan. And if Pep Guardiola comes in, most people in the world, no matter what, will pick Guardiola over anybody else. Maybe a few will pick the right option and pick Jurgen Klopp, but majority of players will pick Pep Guardiola. It's as simple as that. But I don't understand why Liverpool fans are a little bit angry at the fact that McAllister will pick Man City over us. We haven't got Champions League football, we've got Europa League, and they look to strengthen year in, year out, and they continue to compete every single year. Once this cycle of us going through is done, we're going to have to go drop a couple of levels, then come back again. Would a McAllister want to do that? I don't think so. He wants to be winning year in, year out for the next 6 to 7 years. That's the kind of player he is.
And McAllister's 20, is he 24? 24? 25?
That's what I was just about to ask. How old is he?
I think he's about 24. Double check.
Around that age.
The chat will sort out. By the way, guys, we just under 100 people in here already, and it's not even 10 minutes into the video. So what we need to do,
24 turning 25.
We need to get that GA up. Let's get that GA going. So we've got 35 likes right now. Let's make sure 39. So make sure we smash that like button. We haven't even set a like target for today's video. I'm saying 150 likes. For the 150k we're supposedly offering McAllister.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So,
that sounds right.
You know what I'm saying? So if anyone wants to aim higher or lower, you lot slap the likes with the like goal that you guys think we should reach. And today I say the subscriber count, we want to at least gain 10 subscribers. So we want to gain 10 subscribers today at least and 150 likes. We are 18 subscribers away from 4,300 subs. And then obviously you want to be at 5k before the season starts. I believe we can make it happen. I believe you guys can make it happen. We want to get G to 500. You know what I'm saying? We want to get Ram just doing content. We just want to get Ram doing content. So, you know what I'm saying? Show me the numbers. Show me the numbers on Bruno Fernandes style. You know what I'm saying? So let's get that one running. Let's hit some of the comments. Big up Egal for the raid just before the stream. Big up Egal for Football TV. Big up the Arsenal fan base. Some news is broken about Eddie Nketiah in Newcastle, by the way, that we're going to touch on as well. That I've seen. Not the greatest, not the greatest, source, but it's something that has come through, so it might be worth discussing a little bit. Yes, K, you get looking at your phone. Eddie.
You don't just quick.
Is that a quick look?
Just get a quick little glimpse. Just a quick one.
You know what I'm saying? So that stuff there. Let me hit some of the comments. Fred says Kova for a decent fee. I welcome it, bro. Bro. Kova coming in for Gundo. I hear it. Bro. That's good bit of business. Good bit of business. Big up AFC Omar says the Raiders are. Big up AFC Omar. Big up yourself, bro. Hope you are good. Obviously, GTV, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you go and subscribe. They are. We should get Milinkovic-Savic. He's available for 35 mil. He'll be perfect right sim for us, and it's a bargain.
Is he available for 35 mil?
He's been getting mentioned since 2019.
He gets mentioned every summer for every
summer. I don't think he's available for 35. Lazio's president wouldn't do that.
He might, because I think, is he not out of contract next year? So maybe possibly.
You're actually right. Yeah,
possibly 35. But I mean, it's not bad. It's not a bad signing.
Decent signing. For that money.
He just reminds one of the, as you said, he's one of them players that, you know, you've been talking about him for so long. You're like, brother, we moved on from you now. You're not really the guy. Like, let me move on to the next guy.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think with him, bro, we've just kind of seen it all before. With him,
but don't you think? Sorry, go on.
No, go on, you go.
No, I was gonna say, just moving on. I was like, I'm just looking at the news and stuff. I'm like, right, are people not understanding how underrated this? If this happens, the Kovacic deal to flipping City is like, I don't know how much that, if he's going for free, or I don't know what that situation, how much that is, but that's madly underrated. As in, you've just literally gone almost like for like in terms of, obviously Gundogan is a better player in my opinion, but that drop off isn't like, oh my goodness, we've gone from Gundogan to Kovacic. You're almost like, oh, Gundogan for Kovacic. All right, cool, and we keep going again. I feel like Man City seem to be it's like a refresher. Like that's it, and then they're just gonna keep going and going again. I feel like that is madly underrated, bro. Like obviously we're thinking about McAllister might go to a City, and we still got to remember, even if he was to go to a City, he's still got to get acclimatized playing at that level. Heck, why not just get in Kovacic, someone who's played Real Madrid, won Champions League, gone to Chelsea. Obviously Chelsea are dusted, but in a general sense, he's been one of their better midfielders. Now he's gonna go to a Manchester City. I guarantee you, he doesn't get as injured as much as he did at Chelsea.
Because that style doesn't demand as much running.
Do you know what?
Crazy to me. I'm just gonna throw this one in there. We'd have been better going for cover on a low fee than going for McAllister.
You know what?
I said this.
I'm not sure.
But even Arsenal, I felt like could have gone for
Arsenal.
We could have gone for Kovacic even.
But the reason I say that is because Kova is what, 29? Is he? How old is Kova?
He's 29, I think.
29. Yeah. So yeah, I was right. So Kova's 29 years of age. So for me, that's the right amount of experience blended into what you want in midfield. If we are to go and get Kone and the likes of Kone and Thuram, because those are the hybrid, that's the player profile we're looking for. Mix it in with a 29-year-old. You're getting 23-year-olds or 22-year-olds. Mix it in with a 29-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if we go and get McAllister, Thuram, and Kone, yeah, great, but not one of them is over 25.
Oh yeah, even close.
And not many of them out of the three, who has really got that real Champions League dog in them? Really,
none of them are that experienced. Obviously, I know everyone's going to be like McAllister in a World Cup.
Business end of the season, big players, big end, game changer end of the season. None of them have really been there. None of them. How about this? The two Frenchmen are France under 21s.
Yeah,
not true.
Swear Thuram is still in the under 21s. I thought he made it. Okay.
Thuram's made the.
Yeah.
He made the room had his debut. Yeah, he's made the men's, but Kone, you know what I'm saying? That, and that's nothing wrong with that, by the way, because Konate's played in there. Like there are many players.
That French team is stacked. They just got so many players.
It's dumb, innit? But what I'm saying is that, like, I'm one for mixing experience with youth as opposed to going all out of youth, because I think Arsenal for me lacked a bit of player experience to get them over the line. I think if they had a couple more men that had played at that level consistently, then certain mistakes wouldn't have been made in certain situations, even amongst the injuries. You know what I'm saying? I think you're prone to those. What's the word? You're more prone to inconsistencies the more young players you sign. I understand there needs to be a rebuild, but unless you're looking to keep the likes of Henderson and Fabinho in and around the team to balance that, then boy, but are they good enough? Are those guys even still good enough to play anymore? The fact that we are not looking for an enforcer, or it hasn't been reported that we've been looking for an enforcer at the moment, is a bit, it shows to me that I think Klopp is still trusting Fabinho in that DM role with extra legs around him, which worries me. That worries me.
That's my worry as well. Is if Fabinho is going to stay, I'd rather him be as a backup rather than him starting every single game. If it is the case that we get Kone, then cool. I can live with it, but it's not ideal because I don't even see Kone as that kind of player. Kone's best attribute when I've seen him play for Gladbach is him driving with the ball forward, getting into those forward positions, not him getting the ball and releasing it like how I want my DM. I want my DMs to get the ball back and just quickly release it, have that passing range. And you don't have that, in my opinion.
You guys might need to drop me a website to find heat maps in it because I couldn't find a heat map. I sat for a heat map, but I've looked at the heat map. So yeah, I've looked at Thuram's heat map and I've looked at Kone's heat map, and they actually are more in the 8 rows. So
they both play similar position, like
just
truly on that left centre mid. Like,
just one's left and one's right. So it's like,
so are you guys signing both to start?
I don't think anyone who starts in midfield, I don't think will start. I still think, honestly, the starting midfield you will see on game day 1, Kiers, is Fabinho, Henderson, and Jones. You will see that starting 11 at the start of the season.
That's not
I think you'll see one. I think you'll see one new signing. I think you'll see one new signing.
I agree.
But Fabinho and Hendo, I can see that 100%.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they play the season. I'm just saying that because of how the season ended and probably the fitness going into the season, when it comes to midfield signings, Klopp never just dashes them in straight away unless it's even Thiago. Thiago come in because he's that good, but Thiago aside because he's better.
We did sign him late though.
Yeah, we signed him late and he didn't really have the preseason with us. But it's like Klopp always kind of integrates his midfielders in because I don't think they have any midfielder that comes in doesn't actually have any idea how much running they're gonna have to do. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that's what I think. But just to go back to Kova, I put a poll up as well, people in the chat. Make sure we're voted in the poll. Who you guys think is a better signing, McAllister or Kova? To be fair, so far 23 votes so far. McAllister is winning at the moment. 20%.
Even just on that, and was speaking about Arsenal. Do you think then? Here's what I'll ask you. Do you think then that's the reason why Mikel Arteta was so keen on getting in a Zinchenko and a Gabriel Jesus, because he knew that when Monster's talking about the lack of, like, obviously the experience of players being in that title running and all those kind of little things, he knows, obviously, being at Manchester City, he knows Zinchenko, he knows Gabriel Jesus, so he knew that they would understand a little bit more than everyone else in terms of, yo, this is how we won the title at Manchester City, so this is what we did in training, this is how the mentality was, blah, blah, blah. Let me get in players who are part of that. And you think like that might make things a little bit easier. Hence the reason why we're seeing links with you guys, Arsenal and Gundogan, because he, again, trying to get in someone who is experienced at, winning titles and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. Me personally, I feel like you're right. Jesus and Zinchenko were mainly bought for that reason as well. However, I think there's only so much they could have done. And once I agree with what you were saying before as well, in terms of we needed just a bit more to get over the line. But I'm looking at that thinking, cool, Saliba gets injured, we bring in Holding. I think Jesus and Zinchenko together, just their winning mentality alone, it wasn't enough for us to do the job. Like with Holding, it just made our quality just drop completely. I know it's the narrative and it's the whole cliche thing, Saliba gets injured, they lose a title, blah, blah, blah. But that's literally the reality of it. Holding coming in, it made Saka play poor. It made our defense uncomfortable. It just messed up the whole system and the whole flow of things. So I think not even Jesus and Zinni's mentality was saving that. And I think with Gundogan, if he was to sign him, if we was in that situation again, I don't even think he gets that over the line as well, because of that reason of our quality being so low. I feel like once we get our players that the defenders we're linked with, the midfielders, just everybody, that the Rices and whatnot, I think once we get the whole blend together, I think we won't even need like a winner mentality anymore. We just, because you've got that much quality, we could just do it on our own, that type of thing.
What centre backs are you guys even linked to? I obviously want another centre.
Yes, you know what? I don't even think it's mainly centre backs. I feel like we're trying to get somebody that can play both right back and centre back when needed. So like I don't know his name, but I don't know if you might know that Leipzig defender. I think he starts.
He's all right.
I feel like he can play centre back and right back, so that'll be a good addition still.
No, I agree. It's just there's, by the way, people, 135 people in the house. Make sure you are smashing that. We're 25 likes away from 100 as well, so make sure we're voting. I'm just curious to see the vote. McAllister is winning by quite a landslide. Man, I'm on the panel. I haven't asked man I'm on the panel. Who do you guys think? Would you take Kova right now, or would you take McAllister?
That's Kova. If we're being real,
it's very dependent on how your team is set up.
I was gonna say that
because Kovacic is heading into his light end of his peak, kind of. He's getting into his 30s, whilst McAllister's starting his peak. So it's kind of the case of if you need someone that's like a little bit of a quick fix, try a little bit of a stopgap and still maintain that quality, Kovacic all the way. But if you're talking about a guy that you want to keep for about 4 to 5 seasons at the top level, then McAllister might be your guy. It just really does depend on your team. And if we're talking about a Man City team that only needs a little bit of a refresh and still maintain that quality, Kovacic is the obvious example for that, man. That's why we're kind of annoyed that City are going to get a player like him in their team.
You know, don't be surprised. Again, you're gonna have to chat to maybe like Daps, or he'll be the best person, obviously, to tell you, or someone like that. But I have this inkling in my brain that Phil Foden will become a central midfielder in that team at some point in time later on down the line.
Grealish as well. You think Grealish could probably do it as well?
And it was one of the two in my brain that was like Grealish and a Phil Foden could easily play that like later on down their careers, because obviously then you won't need, obviously Grealish isn't like rapid or anything like that. So, and he's so good with the ball at his feet that playing in midfield, I feel like would be easy for him. He's got the tenacity. He's good off the ball. He can recover well. He's kind of a central midfielder already, just playing on the wing kind of thing. And I feel like Foden could then almost be your Bernardo Silva later on, once Bernardo Silva, whenever he leaves. So I'm looking at it thinking, you could be right. This could just be a stopgap. And then eventually they get to a point where now I can just throw these guys in, because their system is so fluid, left, right. They don't really have positions. Like I've seen De Bruyne pop up defensive mid. I've seen him pop up left wing, up front. Like it's dumb. So where everyone can play in all of these different positions, because Pep doesn't really have that in terms of players need to stay in one place and blah, blah, blah. Don't be surprised if you see. I just think Phil Foden, he could easily be a central midfielder in that Man City team, like later on down the line. So Kovacic now, that makes sense.
I think later in his years, in my opinion.
I'm not saying now.
Like David Silva used to be a left winger back in the day, and then he sort of transitioned to attacking midfielder, then transitioned to more to advanced 8. So yeah, I mean, when I first saw Foden, I was like, yeah, Pep gonna make him like a next Silva. I just see it. You could just see it with certain players, and it's like, yeah, he is. He's good.
It is similar. It is similar to, I think, those best managers. They love to replicate their success, and if you're able to follow type, we kind of see it with Jurgen, where he's looked at Nunes and he's immediately reverted to type with Gakpo. The second he's seen anything capable of a false 9, he's gone, okay, forget that. I'm going back to type straight away. Do you know what I'm saying? Straight away.
I wish he could replicate them Dortmund days, bro. That Dortmund team was fire.
Yeah,
fire.
Boy, we'll see. Let me hit some of the comments, because the comments have been flying. As I said, 150 over 150 of you in there. Let me quickly just sort the comments, because I know you guys have been quite opinionated, and we love to get your opinions as well. Big up Ryan in the chat as well. We says Jurgen cooking something for next season. Big up Nathaniel. He says big up the panel. Good to see you, Nathaniel. Good to have the Arsenal faithful in here as well.
Right, you know that timing, the way G was praying, it looked as though G was praying when Ryan said when he showed up the chat.
I know he's cooking boiling water. If that's what he had, I hear it.
Kova. This, by the way, this is what G thinks of Klopp at the moment. By the way,
soft, overrated, pretty boy, a bitch.
Pretty boy. That's probably the last thing I hear from that.
Hey G, so what's your opinion on next season?
I think Liverpool.
I ain't believing it, man. It's not moving me.
Honestly, if you ask me today, yeah, obviously it's gonna change, but just quickly, if you ask me to like right now, and just basing off all the players that we've been linked with, I feel like Liverpool will finish between 3rd and 5th. I do not see a title challenge from them.
Well,
But yeah.
I think I'm going to ask you that again after the signings. I think we keep asking these questions, but before and after the signings can be few and far.
I need to see what Arsenal do. I need to see what everyone does first. But right now, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, top 4 battle for me. That's what I see.
100. Oh, 100. Let's hit some more of the comments. Big up Corey Anderson. He's like, Kovacic to City, I will love it, and I think I deserve it. Hashtag, put your Cristiano Ronaldo voice on there. Do you know what I'm saying? It's true though. It's a big boy sign. I'm not gonna lie. I'm rating that because I'm a big fan of Kovacic, innit? Big fan of him. Always wanted him at Liverpool. How busy he is, mixed with his actual technical ability. He has the ability that Klopp wishes some of the center. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like his technical ability and his ball carrying skills, along with his tenacity, for me, that's Liverpool style there. How about this? He reminds me of Wijnaldum, but a little bit more forward thinking in it. More forward thinking for me. Less fit, obviously, because Kovacic his injury record has been a bit. I know that's what's frustrated Chelsea fans the most in the season. He hasn't really managed to find any sort of rhythm in consistently playing.
You love cover a lot, man. You love.
I would just say McAllister will 100% be a Liverpool player. Hey, man. Hey.
He probably will, but it's at what cost? That's the thing.
Yeah, at what cost? There's something not right with this McAllister deal. Been at the same stage for ages. Seems like he's waiting to see if another club comes in. This is what I was saying. I'm not gonna lie. Kova is overrated. I can't agree with that one.
I can hear it because
I was gonna say I understand why people may think that, but in my opinion, I think he's class.
Ryan saying he's just a ball carrier.
Okay,
I test merchants see him and think he's unreal.
No, I wouldn't say he's just.
That's harsh, man. Yeah. That's harsh.
I say
you can't say it. Yeah,
I can understand why Chelsea. I understand why we say that he's overrated because Chelsea fans have put him up to such a pedestal where they said better than Thiago, better than Gundogan, and play with people things like that. And I'm like, bro, you're the reason why we don't rate him that highly. It's because you say stupid stuff like that. It's like he can't help that. He can't help his own fans talking stupidness. You know, it is what it is. I think he's a decent player, but yeah,
I think he's. You guys got to remember how long Kova's been at. You know how long Kova's been at Chelsea. Like?
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been like what?
Bro's been at Madrid. Yeah, like are we forgetting that this Donny was pulling up to Madrid, calm, like
he's got Champions,
fitting into that midfield.
He's got Champions League trophy. Fair enough, he didn't play in the Champions League, but like.
I'm not cutting, bro. I'm gonna quote.
Wait, did he come off the bench when we lost to them?
No, I'm gonna quote Monster right here. My man at Real Madrid was like the man them at Christmas, just eating, no help at all. It's just eating the food, bro. Let the women cook it, then they'll just eat it. I'm not just saying every guy does it. I know some guys that cook some fire Christmas food, including myself. I'm putting it out there. I could cook some good food. But all he does is eat. No help at all. Didn't produce anything with any of those Champions Leagues, man. I'm just saying.
What about Chelsea Champions League? Did he start?
Kante tax.
Oh, yeah. Kante tax. Hear it. Has he got? He ain't got 5 Champions Leagues. He's got 1.
4.
No, he's got 4. Oh, he does have 5. Oh my god, he's got 5 Champions Leagues.
What's the 5th one?
What? He did not start.
He got 4. He's only at Madrid for like 3.
No, he has.
He didn't get a 2013 14 one.
He has 4 Champions Leagues medals at Madrid. Did he come to Chelsea in January? Is that why?
No, he was there quite a bit of time though.
Was he there on loan and then they made it permanent?
He's got 4. And how about this? Big club mentality. Why are we comparing McAllister and Kova when you can just try to get both? Big club mentality.
I hear it.
No, I could do you one better. If Alexis McAllister costs 60 to 70 million pounds, why are we going out and trying to buy Joshua Kimmich?
Who's trying to get Joshua? We're not trying to get Joshua Kimmich.
Did say that to you once.
I'm just saying, Mons.
No, he's saying why are we not trying to get him?
Why are we not doing that?
Bro, we are not Kimmich. Death row.
No, he's not
no
death
one
row.
getting
He can
Kimmich,
get
bro.
out, man. He can
Unless
get
your
out.
name is Pep Guardiola, who managed him already, will not be no one.
Nah, you trust
No,
the German
You
connection,
never know if you don't make the offer though. That's the thing.
Nah, but kids, we come from a similar. You see me, and you see our clubs. We come from a similar background. We're not from Chelsea. We're from Edmonton, bro. Like our clubs are from Edmonton. You get it? We're talking North London. We're talking London logistics. Let's put this. Let's use this.
We're
sort of
talking not
We're from
SW.
Edmonton.
We're in N. We're just N. Or
Yeah, we're just-
E7E or something.
Our postcode does not scream, let's go get Kimmich. Our postcode screams, let's go get Kova when his contract's up for a free. That's what that is. You know?
I swear,
It's
our
true,
postcode
it's
is
true.
like L.
That's not our tax bracket. Yeah, cool. We can show interest. I'm pretty sure you guys had interest in Bearman. But it's bro, when you got these American owners, yes, they're starting to move their way with Arteta. And you know, FSG are now under pressure to back Klopp.
Yeah, but back in the day, back in the peak times, boy.
Yeah, it's not in their nature though. They're only doing it. Liverpool are fifth. Do you know what is? If we pinched fourth, they probably them American FSG probably would have thought, well, do we need to spend? I mean, they did get Champions League football. That is what's on the board. That's on the whiteboard. That what we want. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
That's true. It's true.
You know, it's one of them ones. Like it's one of them ones. Man. We're from the ends, and Chelsea and City, they're all balling up in Chelsea and that. You know what I'm saying? By the way, people, 170 people in the house, 93 likes, 7 more likes. We are at 100 likes. Let's get to 100 likes ASAP. Stop what you're doing right now. Hit the like button.
I'm just looking at Kovacic. I forgot this brother played for Inter Milan as well. Like, yo, this guy's been about.
He's a baller.
And even at Madrid, you know, look, first season 25 games, second 27, one after that 21, and obviously that's when he then next season he then went on loan for Chelsea. Yo, like this, like he's not just a bum. That man is saying he's overrated, as if to say he wasn't playing for Real Madrid and he was playing majority of these games. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? So. Yeah, I think you got to respect. I'm not calling him like a sick player or anything like that. I think he's one of those players. He reminds me of a player that, when he gets older, he's gonna just turn sick out of nowhere, and you're just gonna be like, "Rah, Cover's been sick for time," and then you'll start looking back. It's a bit like Pirlo for me. For me, I never used to think Pirlo was that guy at all, and then somewhere along the line, he just went from being Pirlo, obviously from AC Milan and blah blah blah, to this je ne sais quoi type of guy. Like,
it was 20.
Yeah,
against England. It was against England.
Yeah, I couldn't think of an Italian word, but you know what I mean. Like,
he's one of the man. Yeah, he was like during when masculinity was the maddest thing. He was allowed to have long hair. He was allowed.
Yeah. He was one of them type of brothers, and I was just like,
wait, once he grew that beard. And started doing his thing. And people like, you're all about that life.
But before, tell me now, Ram, yeah, would you have called Pirlo, or would anyone in the chat or on the panel, when we're facing them in the Champions League, back in them days would you really, out of all the midfielders that AC Milan had them times, was he the one that you was picking like, oh, I need Pirlo over Kaká, or I need Pirlo over Seydou, or man's not picking Pirlo over none of these guys.
I think he was more because in the AC Milan days, because I know if you guys remember, if your parents couldn't afford Sky Sports, you watched Real Madrid TV and you watched the Italian football highlights on ITV4 and Channel 5. So I think it was Channel 5.
Don't embarrass us.
If your parents couldn't afford Sky Sports, yeah, I begged Mumsy for Sky Sports. She's like, nah. It's just never happened. I had Sky Movies in it, and Mum said, you can't have both.
Or one or the other.
So I was stuck with Real Madrid TV, hence why one of my favorite ever players is Guti Hernandez. Favorite ever players. Yeah, and obviously, you know, I remember when they signed Gargo when he flopped. Not flopped. I want to say Gargo.
Gargo, shit.
Yeah, bro. You what's wrong?
I forgot about that, brother. You know, Wonder Kids before there was even a term Wonder Kids.
Yeah.
You know? That's crazy.
Bro, remember about Gargo?
He was with that Messi crop, innit? He was with that crop, innit?
That's when Baptista, all that come for the one odd season, when Baptista, all of that stuff. You know when
Madrid.
But yeah, and then bro. Obviously, you also had the Serie A highlights, yeah? And I used to see, obviously, you had your Seydorf and your Kakas who were like they were the front cover, and Pirlo kind of was like the back seat, because remember they also had Gattuso, so it's like Pirlo was like Pirlo was always the guy who was slapping it. Bro, if you go on some of my man's free kicks at Milan, he was still very dumb at a lot of things.
Yeah, of course.
But in terms of being the face of things, it was more the Seedorf and the Kakas, and even
they were more the game changers,
Shevchenko and those guys, innit? But then I think once those guys, because those guys were all their latter stages though. But these times Pirlo was like 24.
This is what I'm saying. Why? Yeah, like he was just a player that I'm not saying he was. By the way, I see their comments. Like I'm not saying he was dead. By the way, people like Pirlo was a good player, but he was definitely. I would like. Oh, forget this one.
Here, man. It's literally this one here.
The thing is, as soon as you go, I was like, "Bruh, you're taking it back, like to them type of man."
Back then,
yeah, bro.
Like when it comes to them type of players, like a Pirlo, I'm not saying they were dead when they were young or anything, but as you said, the other players that were there, the Gattusos and the Seedorfs, all of that, they were in that kind of level of prime where they were reaching the end of it, where he was still kind of coming into his own. And that's how I look at Kovacic, is that I feel like he'll just turn into one of those players where, yes, he is 29, but once he gets past that 30 threshold, move to a Manchester City, start winning everything, then you'll start appreciating him, because then you'll be like, well, now everything's matching together, whereas before it might have not really have done that, even though he was at Real Madrid before, but it just wasn't integral to that team. But one of them ones, man. Pirlo was a sick player at the end.
So that was just a little tangent that we went on there. So that was a little tangent going on at the Real Madrid TV. And I was only saying that because, what was I saying? When it comes, actually, I forgot.
We don't know what we're saying.
Why do we even
we
get
got
into
that? Because
why do we even get chat? Why do we even start talking about that? Why do we?
I feel like we was just talking about
Kimmich. It was Kimmich.
Kimmich, yeah.
How the hell did Kimmich?
I don't know how we got
Ram brought Kimmich.
Hey, yo. Do you know what? Let's just run to the comments, and then we're gonna get back to the we're gonna move over to that.
No, we talked about Kovacic and how he played for Inter and Real Madrid and
and then I was like, that he's been there for time doing his thing. And then we moved on to Pirlo saying, well, remember back in the day.
It was Channel 4, by the way. Kismet says today it was Channel 4. Big up K-Mac in the chat as well. Let me just hit some of the chat, man. Let's see what the chat is saying as well. Please stop with the American owner, and they're literally talking about American owner who just sold a player. It's a tired narrative.
There's a reason for me. I think we've had this conversation behind the scenes, and we've talked about why we don't want FSG as our managers, as our owners. If we'd rather have like Qataris or DIC come in, I want it profitably, just that they make Liverpool as an institution and the surrounding area better. I want the women's team better. I want the first team better. I want the entire place better. I want the store better. I want everything better. I'm a greedy guy like that. I'm sorry. That's how I am. I just want to have the best of everything. You get me?
No,
this is true.
I hear what you're saying. By the way, I'm going to end the poll. I said who was the better signing. McAllister won 70% to 30%, 118.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
118.
Still 70%.
70%.
I'm not judging you guys in the chat. I'm not judging.
Boy,
but you're judging right now.
I'm judging. I'm judging. I'm judging. So some of this chat is moving mad.
I'll be real, man. I think again, recency bias is a very strong thing, and because people ain't really seen Kova that much this year, I think that plays. And obviously, remember that McAllister's a World Cup winner this year. Obviously,
I think people are not understanding as well.
Didn't Kova have a good game against McAllister, not against Argentina? Anyway, go on, carry on. Okay?
He did as well. But also, he is going to Manchester City under Pep Guardiola. That we can't ignore the difference between that.
I'll say it again. It is again comes down to what type of team you need. If it's for Arsenal, I 100% agree. Kovacic is the guy. But if it's for us, though, I think McAllister over Kovacic. You get me? Like,
I hear it.
How your team is.
I hear it. Dr. Footy's second account says McAllister's father said they will make their decision after June the 10th, and you know what's coming? June the 10th, a hijacking. I hate whenever I hear that. I'm with that. Whenever I hear, oh, we're gonna make our decision this time. Do you know what the last time I heard that is when Klopp came out and said, yeah, Jude Bellingham, we would have gone in for him, but he's just not available at this moment in time. Then it was reported by Mr. Paul Joyce that Jude Bellingham is going to make his decision as to where he's going to go in the coming weeks. What happens in the coming weeks? Liverpool pull out of the race to sign Jude Bellingham because he appears to be too much money.
All I'm saying is,
what happens a month after that? Oh, the Real Madrid news breaks. And I know Bellingham is a slightly different situation, but whenever I'm hearing, oh, he's going to make his decision in this amount of time, I'm not with it. I'm not there for it. I'm not there. I'm sorry.
In my mind, I'm like, what decision do you like? Even when I'm reading some of this stuff, like I'm looking at Fabrizio saying, yeah, Liverpool plan to obviously sort out the detail side for him next week. It's almost agreed and all that kind of stuff. And apparently we're prepared to pay whatever it is, blah, blah, blah. If my man is still here, like, and he still hasn't signed this deal and we're still taking this long, surely that must give people some level of like indication where it's like, it's not, I'm not saying he's not going to sign. He blatantly could easily just sign and everything is just done and dusted. No one else is in for him and then we just move forward. I'm not saying that. But what I am looking at it is this doesn't scream to me because as soon as Pochettino was going to be announced as Chelsea's manager, and then we heard that there was a little bit of interest from Chelsea for McAllister, I'm all hearing, yeah, well, Chelsea are kind of interested. McAllister's he appreciates Pochettino. He likes the Argentinian. Obviously, he's Argentinian, so I can understand wanting to play under him. So I'm looking at that thinking straight off the rip, bro, I don't feel like Liverpool is his first choice. I just think we are probably the only available choice right now. But if better choices were to come up, bro, he'd be off like there's no tomorrow. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you got to be the bridesmaid. Sometimes you just got to catch the bouquet. You know what I mean? Like, it's not always going to be you getting married. Got to catch that bouquet sometimes.
You just got to push people out of the way, man.
Man, I say,
yeah, you got to push you out. You got.
I've seen that video. Hey, G, you
got to fight people for that shit.
I've seen it with my own two eyes. Bridesmaids take that shit seriously, bro.
But it's true though. It's true.
Bro,
that's what it is, man.
Man, I just saying Monster's got PTSD. Yes, I do have PTSD. Yes, I do. Oh, you guys thought I was going to deny it? Yes, I do. You know what I'm saying? When man them talk to me about midfielders.
Not around here, partner. Not around here.
That's what I feel like my board is saying. My board is just like, not around here, partner. Not around here. You know what I'm saying?
Big up, by the way, big up Marcel, yeah. I just want to answer that what you just said. I'm not saying that we're a smaller club than Chelsea. Sometimes what you need to do is you need to understand there's a lot of semantics and whatever behind a lot of things. How big we are as a club can be deemed irrelevant if the other club that you're looking at is a better prospect, is a better project moving forward. I don't know for McAllister. Again, he might just want to play under Pochettino moving forward. Chelsea, with them only having one Premier League game a week next season, if they get the signings right, they could be a problem next season for a lot of people. Whereas with Liverpool, there's a lot of wishy-washy things going on with the club. It's a little bit uncertain in all areas, both on the pitch, both off the pitch, behind the scenes, all of that kind of stuff. We are not looking like we're going that way. Right now, we're here. Whereas Chelsea, they're in a position right now where they can only realistically go there. So, and thank you, Social, money talks. Do you know what I mean? So if they can provide the money, which I know they can, like I said, sometimes don't look at it because we're a bigger club and we must, he's just going to pick us. It might not work like that, bro. Honestly, it doesn't always work like that. So pick up yourself for the comment.
Well wishes to Jude. One thing I want to say about the Jude thing quickly is that I don't really like the whole, we got John Henry's playing 4D chess. Jude is playing with a leg brace. He's got an injury. We would have signed an injured player. Less of that, man. Most of us would have cut off an arm and a leg for Jude. Let's not go there. Because if he signed for Liverpool, we would have been saying, oh yeah, John W. Henry's going to give him the lease of life.
Not me and G. We're not part of that camp. No.
I'm saying a lot. I've seen it loads on my timeline. The man is saying, yeah, 4D, not even just 4D chess, but like, you know what? Maybe it was be better off us not signing Jude. No, hell no. If we sign Jude and two other midfielders, I'm laughing. We're all laughing. Rival fans are hating. bro, injured or fit. He's 20. He's 19. He's 20. Allow me.
What
I'm saying?
What I don't
I wish
understand
him
is
well. I wish him well.
He's had all of these knee braces, strapped up knees, playing bare minute. He had that before all of this, but no one in the Liverpool fan base said anything. Everyone was like, "Nah, man, FSG are pricks because they're not giving us the money to sign Jude." Now the boy's gone to thing and he's getting it, like he's gonna have knee surgery. Everyone's doing a 360 and they're saying, "Oh, you know," as once said, "Oh, you know what, Jude, yeah, it's a good thing." What do you mean it's a good thing? 2 minutes ago, you guys were telling me that Jude is the savior. We gotta sign him. Let's not do the 360 kind of thing. Let's always, you know what I mean, remain consistent. Man, I'll call him Gerrard. I was like, right, okay, maybe he is the one.
I am Jono. It's that one. It's copium.
It is copium, bro.
It's copium, bro. You gotta cope with the fact that we didn't get him. It's copium. It's copium still. It's copium.
You lot can take that big ass copium, bro. Me and G can sit nice and tight knowing that we didn't get the guy that was supposedly the next Steven Gerrard, bro.
I mean, let's move on. So, but by the way, so yeah, that I'm just gonna say with that Kovacic thing, I think that is a really good signing for City if they do go ahead. Just to round off, if they do go ahead and do that, I think any one of us. Is there anyone who wouldn't take Kova? I think everyone here would take him.
Yeah, of course, 100%.
Especially because he's not gonna go for more than 40 mil. He's definitely not going for more than 40 mil.
I wouldn't take him.
He ain't going for more than. You wouldn't take Kova
right now.
Have you seen our midfield?
Surely,
bro. I feel like
we don't get to pick and choose, Ram. We don't get to pick and choose anyone.
I'm gonna pick and I'm gonna choose right now. Once I am not getting him because of the injury record. I am picking and choosing. Sorry, no, and he does. I haven't seen him do vigorous work in that midfield. I'm scared that if we put him in this midfield, we're gonna break him, fully break him, like snap him in half. Like,
so it's not a quality thing. It's what the manager's gonna do with that player. Is that
whether he fits us? Yeah.
Because you know what it is. I agree with what Keir said. This isn't Kova. This is Kova under Pep.
It's a whole different player.
That is Kova and Kova under Pep. That's not something man want to see. Like, you don't want to see that. You don't want to buck into that in midfield. You don't want another one of them ball carriers with low center of gravity. You know what I'm saying?
Press resistant, good physicality.
Yeah,
everything.
you don't want that. You don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we've got Hendo on the half turn. Impossible. Nah, impossible, bro. Impossible, bro. Like, man, them know I love Henderson. Kears will say I love Henderson, bro. Like, just not even because I can admit he's not good anymore, but I still love Henderson because he's the captain. He's been the captain and he's been there from the Hudson era. Was he just after the Hudson era? Just after. He signed in 2012, isn't it?
Kenny era, yeah.
Yeah. He signed in 2012. It's the Kenny era. Yeah, he signed in 2012. The guy that signed him got fired. Like the guy that signed him the guy that whose idea was to sign him got fired, and then he's been there ever since. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, his quality is another conversation, but like, bro, like, there's just time to look at quality.
Take that number 14 shirt off his back, man. Honest to God.
But yeah,
the number 14, Alonso had that shirt number, bro.
Especially how Pep rotates.
That's who had the number.
Yeah. Let's talk about let's look at the possibility. We won't spend too much time on McAllister anymore, but it's just, does anyone think McAllister's not happening?
Nope. I think it's gonna happen.
I think it's happening.
Yeah, I think it will happen. Yeah, I think it will inevitably happen.
I can't see where else he goes. Like
Arsenal.
Nah, I don't think we'll go in for him. If I'm honest, I think the Rice deal just because we're trying to get Rice and Caicedo, and possibly Gundogan or Maddison. I just see you linked to Maddison now again. Like, I haven't got enough for McAllister. Can't see it.
Madison.
You're trying to get Rice and Caicedo.
That's just come in, by the way, that we're interested in Maddison from Fabrizio.
To play where?
I have no idea. Maybe in the 8, but
Fabrizio just said it.
Yeah, Fabrizio just said it. Yeah, but like,
I don't really confirm the Mateo Kovacic thing as well.
Yeah.
When did Fabrizio say it?
Like 50 minutes ago. I think he said it in his podcast.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
I start tuning into that more. You know?
Yeah, yes. He says a lot. He says a lot that he doesn't
Yeah.
tweet. So I tune in.
Yeah, he doesn't
but-
tweet. Yeah,
He
it's true.
doesn't tweet it. But I wouldn't. Do we need Maddison? I don't know. Arsenal fans in the chat, what are we saying? I don't know.
You have Odegaard. Why do you need Maddison?
No, because I think he wants to play two of them. So Odegaard in the 10 and Maddison in the 8. But I wouldn't take him because I'd rather Caicedo and Rice and just get them to you.
So then, okay, in saying that, then, if you do, no, go on.
I was gonna say I want to talk about Saliba's contract quickly. I know you guys heard about
that news. The morning was from the Sun. Like I don't take that in at all. Like it's just dead. It's dead. Yeah. Anybody believes that report, please just get help. That's what I'm saying.
And moving on swiftly.
Yeah, it's from the Sun. Like that's all I need to say. Don't even need to.
The way Boss was like, "Oh shit, it's from the Sun."
Well, I know you wanted some little bit of hope that it was true, but unfortunately, not.
No, I wouldn't say that. Let's not go that far, but you know, like if that's what you man are offering Saliba, then that's a bit scary.
Scary. Bro, we'll come to an agreement. I'm not even worried about that. We'll come to some sort of agreement, surely.
How old is he? How old is
it? 21, I believe.
How old is Saka?
Saka's 21. Yeah, Saka's 21. Saliba's 21.
Hey.
So yeah, no, he's true. That report. The reason why people
Saliba's 22. I was right. 22.
Yeah, he's 20. Yeah, he's 20. Oh, he's just 22. Yeah. So like, he's probably looking at thinking, yeah, like I'm seeing Saka get what 200 bags, 280 bags if his performances are well, but Saliba's getting what 120. I think I saw. So. Again, he probably is looking at thinking, what's that about? But I think we'll probably offer him more money, if I'm honest. I can't see us sticking with 120.
So what's he on right now?
I think it is 120, I believe.
Saliba's on 120. Brother, yo, he's doing all right, though.
Let me double check.
Good money, man.
Bro, he's on. I thought he'd be on less than that. I genuinely thought he'd be
I might be wrong. I think I'm wrong, actually. Oh no! He's on 40 bags. He's on 40 grand a week. He's on 40 grand.
That is
okay. I can see why.
That's mad.
Wow.
Yeah, that is mad. So
wow.
So no, but are we saying that's mad because of the C? Remember, when did he sign when did he even sign a deal?
2019.
Yeah, 2019 summer. Yeah, 2019 summer.
2019 summer. Yeah, so he's been on loan, obviously since then.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense. Like him being on 40 bags makes sense because he wouldn't have been.
Money though.
You think so? Come on, man. 40 bags these days. That gets.
That's for Saliba.
That was summer 2019 when no one really knew about him.
Yeah, true. Wow. Yeah. At the time,
remember they bought him prematurely. Well, I wouldn't say prematurely.
I remember when Gomez was on like 30k and he was doing bits for Liverpool. When Gomez, remember Gomez?
Liverpool when their wage system is crazy.
When Gomez was on Gomez was on peanut. When Gomez first started partnering Van Dijk, weren't he on like 30, just under 30? He was on peanuts. I remember.
Someone almost gave Drifty a heart attack when they said that Kelleher was on 6k a week, and I was like,
yeah,
they swear he's on 6k a week.
I don't think it's true because he signed a new contract. But when he was playing regularly as a second choice keeper, he was on 6k a week.
I was about to say, nah, that's mad. That's actually mad.
By the way, there's just under 200 people in the house right now. The numbers are staggering. You know what I'm saying? We are 11 subscribers away from 4,300. So if you are new here, there's 190 people of you in here. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And, you know, smash that like button, people, man. Make sure you go subscribe to GTV. Solo, if you're still in here, do you mind just popping his link in the chat as well? Same with the Ram stand and all that good stuff. Another 10 to 15 minutes, and then we're going to round it off. Obviously, you got the Europa League final kicking off in about 40.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uncle Moo.
So, you know what I'm saying? So make sure, people, that you are tuned in and all that good stuff. Let's hit some of the comments. Real Madrid are either going to be selling Jude to the Prem for a stupid amount, or his career is going to be a complete flop going to that club. Don't agree. Sterling was on 5k when he scored 13 goals in the Prem.
But back in the day.
Yeah, that's different
That was a
wage
decade
demand.
ago.
Yeah, that was literally 2014. So, or 13, I believe. 13-14 season.
And remember,
yeah.
what that season before, when we had the 13-14 season, he wasn't even supposed to have had such a good season. Like, he was still a YG, like, still trying to come through the team. And we just happened to have a banging season. So, obviously, wage demand starts going up a little piece. Like, is what it is.
Yeah, man, I'll be honest. I don't really want to talk about Sterling because last time I spoke about Sterling, everyone was calling him a tapping merchant, even at the highest point of his game. And we don't condone Sterling slander on this channel. My gun, man, my gun. That, you know what I'm saying? That's my you know what I'm saying, that's my brother.
I think that's directed at either myself or somebody else in the group.
That, you know, no, this was on another stream. It wasn't on BSB. It was on BSB. Saka been on 30k until now. That's crazy as well. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's not crazy when you think of like how young the players are. It's not actually
so young.
I was gonna say, bro, like, he's kind mad young.
Yeah. When you look at what Sancho got dashed on at the age of 22.
30k. That'll be about.
Like, imagine being Saka and earning 30k, and then being Sancho and being on 375k.
Bro, that's like 120k a month.
Those are the guys that make it mad. Like, they're the ones that keep the inflation rate. Anthony, the Sanchos, it's Man United fault. It's all of these man.
Yeah, that is mad.
It's actually true.
I blame PSG. PSG started this stupidity. Like,
no, but at least PSG are paying premium money for realistically premium ballers, your Ibrahimovic's. Them man are kind of premium, so I don't mind you paying your 200-400 bags for these guys. When Sancho's getting all the Sancho, which is mad to say because I thought he was good until he moved to Manchester United and fucked himself up. But Anthony, these men are on too much P, bro. Like, and you need to just cool down.
That's true.
This is what I'm saying. I don't. But Kone, Manu Kone.
He and I gonna fight today.
Manu Kone.
He and I gonna fight today.
You're a Bundesliga guy. Kone seems to be widely more rated than Thuram. That is, I'm not gonna lie. That's from what I've seen, Kone is more widely appreciated.
I rate him more, in my opinion, from what I've seen.
And they actually are close friends. What we've been seeing, they're actually good friends. The two of them.
But who?
Thuram and Kone.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
And it's like when Liverpool have open talks, do you guys think that these talks have been open because of McAllister personal terms being delayed? Listen, just hear me out on this. None of these players are DMs. Yeah, none of them are DMs. They can play in the 6. I believe Thuram can play in the 6. I believe Kone has played in the 6.
Yeah. Yes, and Thuram
are predominantly right-sided and left-sided centre mids. Yeah. McAllister can come and collect the ball, do the Frankie De Jong thing, but predominantly is an 8 as well. You know what I'm saying?
Not Frankie though, but I get
because of my. But you know what I mean? Dictate play, come and collect the ball. You guys know what I'm talking about. My PTSD tells me that because tomorrow I'm gonna see a report from Fabrizio saying that personal terms are 99.5% done. Yeah. And that they're just holding out. They're now holding out till June the 11th instead of June the 10th to make a decision on Liverpool. I think that has triggered Liverpool to go and open talk. Because remember, no one said Liverpool are signing Kone. Liverpool are signing Thuram. Liverpool have open talks. So they have now gone. So for me, McAllister is very high up on the list for Liverpool. Very high up on the list to go and get him done. But you know what happens when there's doubts over a signing? You start to look lower and lower on your list.
Don't put lower. Don't say lower.
You know what happened when Julian Brandt wasn't almost the same possibility? Do you know what happened? We looked lower on the list for Mohamed Salah. That's what we did. That is what we did. You know what I'm saying? Remember when Fekir didn't work? Who was lower on the list after Fekir?
Shaqiri.
Right.
You tried to make it so sick, but it wasn't that sick, bro.
No, I'm just saying, and I'm not saying the guy who comes in is going to be better. I'm not saying that's not my point. That's not my point. Was Mane our first choice left winger, or was there a guy who wanted before him?
I think Mane was first choice as a winger.
I can't even remember.
People say Götze is not.
I remember it wasn't. It was like I remember he was linked to the likes of people like João Texeira from
That was the season. That was the season before when he first joined.
You remember him? Right? It might have been him.
Alex Teixeira.
I can't exactly remember. There was another person he was linked with around the Mane signing. I'm not saying Mane wasn't like. I believe Mane was probably one of the ones higher on the list, but the Salah and the Shaqiri, they weren't. Yo, go get them man straight away.
Yeah, Salah was definitely nowhere near, which is the funniest thing. Which is actually
Salah wasn't the guy.
He wasn't.
Salah wasn't seen as the answer to our problems. I'll be honest. Even when we first signed Salah, I was a little bit like.
Don't you find that funny, Mons? That me and you both always stick up for Salah, but we both have the same thing, which is when we signed him, I was like, "Why did you sign this guy? Like, why did you sign this guy?"
Like,
but funny because now he's one of my favorite players.
You just
also because we had Mane as well. Like, do you know what it is? I'd seen how good Mane is, and I'm like, "Yo, bro, like you've got to. We have." Do you get it? I was already on that Mane because you don't remember Coutinho was playing left wing, and Mane at this point was playing right. Mane was a right winger. Mane was not a left winger at this point. Mane was a right winger. Coutinho was on the left, and Firmino was in the middle. So for me, the front three was patterned, and we had Sturridge, who was also could still bang ball at this point. So now I'm thinking, why are you buying? Why have you bought Salah? Like, what is the? And then Mane went onto the left wing. There was question marks. Can Mane do it on the left wing? He's been our best player going forward on the right wing, and you and I just want to move him to another wing. Like kids, imagine Saka after Saka's breakout season, you just want to move him to the other side. Just like wait,
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you're like.
But to be fair, Saka was all playing left wing back.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't want to move a player who's been the best player. And then it's but then that was where I was kind of like, okay, Salah kind of needs to bang now because you've moved our best player to accommodate this man, kind of thing. And then it worked. So this is what I mean when I say my PTSD is telling me that because the McAllister personal terms is stalling slightly, we're now looking at our options such as Kone and Thuram, who are, I wouldn't say alternate, but they're other options that are on Liverpool's list. I don't think that's crazy for me to say.
No.
It's not crazy for me to say.
I mean, for me, and this is a question for all three of you guys, yeah, and the comments as well. I'm looking at these man you're linked with, yeah, and I understand this. You have a certain system, and you need to buy the certain players for that system. But I'm looking at Kone and Thuram and McAllister. Like, is it good enough? You think? Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, do you?
Yes.
Like, it doesn't really strike a faith.
Yes.
Kids. Okay, cool. Kids, yeah. Because JJ mentioned exactly what you're saying. Yeah, JJ mentioned this in the chat earlier on. Big up JJ. Yeah. If Newcastle signed these players, would you look at it and be like, "Oh my days, like Newcastle"? Or would you just be like, "Oh right, you know what? That kind of fits the level." You know what I mean? It would be good for them. You know what I mean? As opposed to if Liverpool signed these players, you're going to be like, as you're asking right there, you're like, are they even good enough to take Liverpool to that next level? When you look at it more, if like a Newcastle or a Brighton or someone, heck, if Brighton signed them, you'd be like, right, Brighton signed Thuram. You would look at it like that. Whereas Liverpool signed these guys.
If Newcastle signed Thuram, it would be concerning.
I see, no, but Ram, it's mad that it's mad that you just said that because I saw Newcastle linked to Thuram like a month ago, and I looked
same.
That's so I looked at that thinking, okay, seems about right. That's the level.
Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't really, I didn't really fear that. Like I just thought, okay, cool, fair enough. But now when I saw you man linked to him, I'm thinking.
And guys in the chat, man's not saying that these players are dead or like they can't be good. Look at Bruno. Bruno's obviously a player that everybody wants and he's playing at Newcastle. I'm not trying to discredit Newcastle, by the way. But what I'm saying is when you're talking about certain players, forget just who they are, just certain players in a general sense. taking you from one level to the next, or whatever level that is, i.e. Arsenal are only looking at players like Gundogan, Declan Rice, Moises Caicedo. Bring me that midfield. Bring me that, and then I'm looking at you differently. But then if you're telling me you're bringing me Kone, Thuram, and McAllister, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's all right. That looks okay. But then I'm looking at they again. This is just if Arsenal were to do it. I'm looking at that and I'm saying, hold on. So you can bring me Rice, Caicedo, and potentially a Gundogan. Yeah, I'd rather that every single day of the week. And that's not to discredit those three guys, but there's levels to the kind of player that you're trying to look to then take you to the next level. So it is a funny one. That's why when you asked that, I was like, yeah, you see, you're not the only one who thinks that.
I disagree.
Marcus, who's a Man U fan, he said, I'm just going to go on his comment for you before you chime in. K-Max says, I don't think Mac is a Jude replacement. He's a Mount replacement. I hear what you're saying. Liverpool don't need good players. They just need bodies. If we're talking for the system, when have we ever had, I don't want to discredit our midfield. When have we ever had good eights? Do you know what I'm saying?
This ain't 2017 anymore.
Genie is only being spoken about. Genie's only been spoken about as a good player because he's left.
No, 2018-19, he was very good.
No, but in our fan base,
he was highly. A lot of other fans respecting Genie like that.
I don't
bro.
No, I agree with Mons. I agree with Mons. Man was not rating. I personally wasn't rating Genie like that. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say because now he's left, we're like, oh, let's not do that. Like, brother was not rating Genie like that.
Do you
nobody
rate
was.
a lot of our players like that?
Like, let's be honest.
No, because I think they're dead. But I'm saying
the only two midfielders that you look at and go, you're hard from the out, just from your quality. Forget what you bring to the system, just from your quality. Is Fabinho and Thiago.
Yeah, literally.
True.
They're the only ones where when they held up the shirt, you went, fuck, they've gone and signed the baller. That's the only. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're the only two. No one,
especially Fabinho.
No one screamed that when we signed Wijnaldum. No one screamed that. Henderson was Henderson. Naby Keita was more expectation than fuck they've signed the baller. It was more expectation. Who else is there? Harvey Elliott, young boy. Who else is there in the midfield that we've signed? There's just not a lot.
Artur Melo.
There's just not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we've always had either workers in the midfield who are technically at the level needed to play for Liverpool, not like overqualified, certified ballers with the madness, technical ability.
Can I ask you this then?
Oxlade-Chamberlain as well. No one was going, oh my God, Liverpool signed Oxlade-Chamberlain. Oh my God, they're going to go and win the quarter.
You're actually dumb.
No,
but Mons, do you think it's because a lot of people haven't watched these players regularly enough to have a judgment about him?
Bro, half of London is Arsenal. Everyone has watched Oxlade-Chamberlain. Naby Keita was
I'm talking about Thuram and Kone.
Oh, the Thurams and Kones. To be fair, me personally, I've seen more
of Kone than Thuram.
Because I've watched quite a bit of Ligue 1, and I obviously have a very different opinion of Thuram than you guys. But from what people have watched Ligue 1 a lot, and they've seen Thuram a lot, they talk of him very, very, very highly. And they say it's not a coincidence he's in the French squad at his age. And it's not because of his last name, because France is not all about nepotism and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They don't need that. It's because he is an incredible player, an incredible prospect as well.
Okay, so Ram, I'll ask you then, let's just say money wasn't even an objective, so to speak. If I gave you the choice of having Rice, Caicedo, and Gundogan, or Manu, Kone, Khepren, Thuram, Alex McAllister, who would you rather go for? For Liverpool. Let's just say this is just for Liverpool.
I'll take bits of both.
No. You could don't try and move the game. Don't try and do that. If money wasn't an option and your club could spend the money to get these players in, which honestly, if whichever one you pick, I'm just genuinely asking though, which would you go for? Because you've seen more of these guys than I have in terms of I've seen probably more of Thuram actually than I have Kone, to be fair. But which one would you go for in retrospect?
The other one was Thuram, Kone, and McAllister.
Yeah.
If I was being honest, it would be Gundogan, Rice, and and Caicedo. But I would swap out Gundogan for Thuram.
Okay, cool. So in saying that, obviously, again, from you just saying that, you're not discrediting the other players. And this is what I want people to understand, even in the chat. Big up everybody in the chat. Make sure you're smashing that like button, subscribe if you are new. But it's like, it's not about discrediting other players. At the end of the day, there's obviously levels to the type of player or players who are out there. So
that's from Marcus, though. I do like
that talent in that league is good as much as man tries to. No one's trying to.
No one sneaked this in League One. I think it's open this. It's like people openly this League One.
Yeah, people openly this. But rightly so. Rightly so.
Everyone wants to cuss League One. Let me say this properly. Everyone wants to cuss League One, apart from when they're talking about Mbappe.
I'm gonna say this one thing, yeah. And people like to cuss the League On. The majority of transfers
that come to the Premier League in League One. Talk about Mbappe as the best player in the world.
the majority of transfers that come from different leagues, League On transfers tend to be more successful than any other league compared to Bundesliga, Serie A, La Liga. Liga is the league that a lot of transfers that come from them tend to work out a lot. You got Hazard, you got Kone. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Shit, my mind is going.
That list looking a bit light, cause
Patrice Evra,
Pepe. Lacazette.
Wait, no slander on my name. No, let me. I'm out of it.
It's all the Arsenal.
How about this one? I'm gonna go deep in. Remy Cabella. You guys know that one? Newcastle.
What about Johan Cabaye? Johan
Cabaye. You don't know about Torvin?
Cabaye was a baller.
It's the names that you're throwing out. Shit, these man.
There's been flops. There has been flops, but there has been some success.
Even like I said, I didn't say fully that all of them tend to be successful. I said compare it to Bundesliga and La Liga, there are a lot more successes compared to hits than they are compared to the other leagues.
But I'm not see. Okay, cool. So look at the 3 names that we just used, or the 6 names that we've just used. So you've got one from Bundesliga, one from France, and then McAllister obviously from the Premier League. But then you got the 3 straight from the Premier League. Reality tells you, or history will tell you, you're more likely going to want to go with that 3 from the Premier League the Premier League anyway. But man, listen, there's been some solid, like, no one's dissing. I'm not dissing League. What I'm trying to say to you guys in the chat, just so that you understand, is that just understand that there are levels to the players that we're talking about. So yes, these guys might be able to reach that level. Thuram might be the next best thing. Kone might be the next best defensive midfielder or whatever. They might all be that. But let's keep it 100 and say right now, if you looked at those players, Rice, Caicedo, them men are at a higher level, or performing, should I say, at a higher level than those guys. But that's not to say that them men are gonna not do that. I don't know, like, what the future holds for any of these guys. So it's just about knowing that there's levels.
You trust Rice and Caicedo more to get there.
100%, of course. I've seen Rice. I know what Rice is about. Caicedo, I've seen what he's about. Like, in terms of up against Premier League level quality. I haven't seen that from Thuram.
I'm going to put my neck out on the line. I'll put Thuram in that as well. I'm fully convinced Thuram could be a very top player.
One thing I know, bro, you was talking about Botman from like 3 years ago. I know you've got an eye for a certain man. You know what I'm saying? When you was talking about Botman, when we needed a defender,
me and Matt were on that train for time.
Yeah.
And look at us now.
You and who?
I'll take Botman. I'll take it for free.
Me and Matt from Kovacic. We were talking about Botman for time.
And there's two more things that we can't. As I said, we're gonna finish in a few minutes. One is the loose Nketiah links away from Arsenal.
I can't see that. I've been looking everywhere. Where are you seeing that?
A guy was covering it, so I'll go on. I need to go and watch where a guy was talking about it. On the street before it. I was watching it, and they were talking about that. But I don't think it matters too much anyway, because you got Balogun. And he's not
got Balogun, bro. He's gone.
He got the best chance.
He's going. You think Balogun is definitely cutting 100,000,000%. That's why that's what you just said there. If Eddie does go Newcastle, that means you're signing a striker. So it will be intriguing to see you will get. Very intriguing.
So then what happens with Jesus? Or he's going to just be like a rotation? He didn't come to.
Yeah, he didn't come to be on the bench. No way. So Jesus, for me, I think he'll still be our main striker next season, but I feel like we get a different profile to him as either the backup or starting games when needed. So like when I say different profile, I mean like Ivan Toney. Not saying we're gonna get him specifically, but that type of profile. Yeah. So,
would you sign him though? Would you sign him?
I'll take Toney, 100%. I'll take Toney. Really
Breaking news as well. Yuri Tielemans has confirmed that he's leaving Leicester and is now a free agent.
Yeah, that was always coming.
Would you guys look at him as a cheap option just to bring in?
No one looks at him as a cheap. Stay away.
Stay away, man. At first I wanted him, but not now.
If I was to be honest, I'd stay away from a lot of Leicester's players.
Yeah.
Because the players are the reason why they've gone down.
Yeah,
they literally down tools.
But then that's like me saying don't sign Lavia, like because he's the reason why they
No. But in the case of Leicester shouldn't be expected to go down. The quality of players. Like if you say Southampton, the quality of players they have, they're expected like they're gonna fight relegation. Leicester are expected to be in the mid-table. The players that they have are the reason that they got sent down. It's because they drowned tools and they didn't give a damn. I would stay away from a lot of them, in my personal opinion.
That's why I don't really want Maddison. If we are linked, I want to stay away because he gives it too much of this in interviews, talking about if we do this right, then there wouldn't be this. There's too many ifs. He never just actually gets on a pitch and does his job, and proves people wrong. There's always a bit of talk, but yeah, get relegated. Just
Tielemans at Monaco, right? Can't lie.
He's very good.
Bro, some of the goals Tielemans has scored this season.
Bro, like I feel like we just dismissed Tielemans super quick. Like
I'm not saying he's the guy, but have you man seen the volleys he's plucked
out? Bare bangers, bangers,
incredible goals.
Overall play.
And I'm not saying, and bro, when you play for a crap team, and Leicester have been crap.
It's
like,
true.
They have been crap. I'm not saying go out and get him in it. I'm not saying go out and get him. What I'm saying is that
go out and get
if a top team was to go and bring him in as a free agent, it's a free agent. I just don't think it's the worst option in the world. It's someone who can come in as a rotation. I'm taking Tielemans as a rotational player. As I said, as a rotational player for free.
I just don't see it. I don't think he's the one.
It's a bit blurry.
Read it.
Yeah, read it.
Read it. It's not focusing. Rams, read
fucking stupid dumb thing. Liverpool are in the market for one centre back, 3 midfielders, and potentially a full back, according to Fabrizio Romano.
3 midfielders,
one centre back.
So that's obviously the thing that you just mentioned. So
and a full back.
Let me just continue to what I was just saying. The last thing I wanted to say, because we're going to lock this video up in a second. Bruno guimaraes, obviously Newcastle looking to tie him down to another long-term contract. Liverpool and Barcelona are the top clubs tracking his whereabouts.
That's not happening.
Now, my issue with that is that if we even think we are trying to get him, he is going to cost no less than 80 plus M's.
No, 100%. 100%.
Like that, his price. Then what's annoyed me more with that is that, remember, again, a lot of clubs were linked to Bruno guimaraes, by the way. But no one actually, for me, none of the clubs actually stuck their neck out for man.
Yeah.
And no one stuck their neck out. Yeah, they didn't trust him. I'm not going to lie. Even when we were linked to him, I didn't really look into it myself. I didn't really bat an eye on it.
Like we was into him too. I just brushed it. Like I knew him and I knew he was okay, but I never knew he was going to be this good. So I just left it.
Wasn't he from Lyon? Was it Lyon that he come from? Lyon?
Yeah, Lyon, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Because man, look, bro. Remember, because you got to remember, Paqueta went West Ham. Like, so man are looking at it like the same. Man were looking at it like it's the same sort of. Because remember, but when he signed, Newcastle come out of relegation. West Ham have come up from challenging.
So I thought that was the level. I thought that was the level.
West Ham's level and Newcastle's level. West Ham were the ones challenging for Europe, and Newcastle were the ones that came from relegation. Now that it's flipped like that, you kind of looked at Paqueta and you looked at guimaraes and gone, well, neither of them are pulling up trees. You know what I'm saying? Or you'd even have thought Paqueta was the one that was probably gonna.
Yeah.
You know, you'd think Paqueta, bro, say no more. Like, man, Darts when he said, don't say no more. Like, you know what I'm saying, man? You see him on all the reels and that. But that's why I can't be mad at my club for saying, "Oh man, we're so late on guimaraes," because bro, no one else stuck their neck out for him. No one else took the risk on him. So that's
with the price tag. With the price tag or something like guimaraes, you weren't Arsenal, Liverpool, like them man ain't trying to spend that. Like them Newcastle and that, they could do that and make it a big sign-in because then you facilitate him. Then you start saying, yo, you're coming here to be the main Paqueta at West Ham, you're coming here to be the main guy in this team. Whereas at Liverpool, Arsenal, he probably wasn't gonna play. Then everyone's looking at man like, oh, you just spent 40 whatever M's on a guy who doesn't play, he looks dead. Now look at guimaraes. He's good. He was probably always this good. He just needed to be able to play, and we weren't going to be able to offer him that, at that time. Now he's worth double that, easy.
I agree, but I think it's interesting to see. I don't think Liverpool break the bank for guimaraes because they weren't willing to break the bank for Jude. That's all. All.
I don't even think Newcastle will let him go.
Yeah, I was going about to say that they were
not unless they're bringing in one powerhouse. Not unless they
bro, 100 million. I reckon it takes you over 100 million to sign guimaraes.
100.
Newcastle.
I'm not gonna lie. If someone slaps 100 M's on guimaraes, they're selling him, bro. They're selling him.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Remember, they don't need money. Remember, they don't need money.
Yeah, they don't. But bro, no one's turning down 100 M's for guimaraes, bro.
I don't know, man. That bro, he's got Champions League. Bro.
I think if they bring in a replacement and someone offers them 100 M's, he is gone. He's gone.
I don't know, man. I don't agree with that.
I reckon they would just reject it.
There's like only 5 men have gone for over 100 M's.
But Monks, I hear what you're saying. I do get why you think they'd sell, but you got to look at it with like in Newcastle's eyes. They just got him for literally just 1 year. This is only his first year. They just got Champions League, and he was the reason for that.
If you get him for even if Liverpool got a player for 40 million and man are coming in for 100 M's, you think we're not thinking of selling it? We're not thinking, you're not considering.
If someone tried to sign Jota tomorrow for 100 M's, would you sell it?
Yes.
No, why do you look like he's about to think about it?
But you know why I say that? I say that because I say that because
I agree with you.
If Liverpool have already got a replacement, and this is why I said if Newcastle have a replacement. If there's a replacement in hand, and he might not be on the same caliber, but the potential might be there, and you're getting 100 mil on the top of that,
it's a thinker.
I'm a greedy bastard. I'm a greedy bastard. I want more money than 100 M's.
But
I think that's where you're getting too greedy now. Now no one will sign.
Man, are quick to discount 100 M's into what, and they see 100 M's in their bank account.
What are you gonna? It's just gonna be like you show them the money right in front of you. And be like, shit.
You know when someone says they offer a certain amount, and you're like, shut up, man. What do you mean 100 M's? And they open the briefcase like that, and you're like,
well. Let me just have a look. Let me just have a look if it's real. Just check if it's real.
Would you sell Diaz if someone came in for an offer for Diaz 100 M's? Would you sell him?
Yes.
But Diaz, no, this one through like.
No, but that's because there's a lot of talent in that left wing market. You get me?
All I'm saying is that
I hear it.
I'm taking that 100 M's and booking a flight to Naples at that point.
I'm getting cover straight up.
Oh, you think it will cost you 100 M's to get cover? You better add some money on top.
Don't worry. I've got some extra P's at home, man. I got a little case ready. You know what I mean?
But let's Coutinho Abdallah with the super chat. He says any bid for Lavia Man City are allowed to match it. Yeah, that's crazy. Yes. But listen, people, we're gonna end it there. Europa League final starts in 13 minutes. I haven't put my bet on, bet gamble responsibly, people. But yes, send me your thing. I might need to.
You already know I've got one ready. I've got my bet builder ready.
Yeah, send me that because I haven't had time to. I have 13 minutes, and if I rush, it's only be a dead.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it.
Send that through. Make sure.
Yeah, Monty, when you get that from Kids, then can you then send that? I need a bet builder myself. I didn't know 13 minutes.
It's money day today, boy.
That's what I'm saying.
You lot, make sure you go and subscribe to GCV. His link is going to be in the description below. Same with Rams. Guys, make sure you send Ram, send your link to me as well, by the way, as well. Big up everyone in the chat. Big up Iakid, Marcus, A9, Solo, Ed, Red Shabby, K-Mac, Fidel. Who else have we got as well? So many in the chat, man. So many. The chat's been popping today, by the way. Big up yourself. Percy, there's been over 200 people in the stream today. Big up Andy, LFC 12th man, Marcus, You Never Walk Alone, Jay Kismet, Letty, Kid, Finos. There's so many. Angel in there as well. Glenn's in here. Listen, there's so many people in here. Big up everyone, and make sure you do smash that like button, especially if you're watching this back and all that other good stuff. Big up the members as well. We also big up every single time. Remember, there is going to be a change in membership very, very soon, coming to the start of the season, so make sure you guys are ready for that. Big up Solo, Kaz, Dennis the Great, Bays and Reds, Daniel, Snake Eyes, D1, Roms, NDT, Joe, and Aiden Andrews as well. Guys, anything else you guys want to say before we end the stream?
If you're blood clot new, make sure you're slashing that subscribe button. I beg. Yeah, man, big up everyone on the panel today, man.
Right, big up everybody, man. Seriously.
Big up everybody, man. Yeah.
Come on, man. Transfer news it leads to a lot of conversations, man. Transfer news is always proper. You feel me? So you know what I'm saying. Big up that. And anyway, people, we are gone. Take care. Make sure you go and subscribe. Sophia's Football Talk is live at the moment, so you know, make sure you go and check her out. It's going to be this will probably take you guys straight there, and we'll see you soon. Take care, people. We end it on our favorite new video that we like to post.
Soft, overrated, pretty boy, a bitch.
All right, take care, people, man. Big up everyone in the chat, man. Bless.